guys, we have a big breaking news coming out when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Zelensky says thousands of troops could be deployed to Ukraine based on security guarantees. At the same time, we have more breaking news coming out, and it says here, don't panic, UK phones to sound at once, an emergency drill. Alright, so you guys already know you have the European, they're getting ready, they're preparing. France has urged all the hospitals to prepare for WW3 event. And at the same time, millions of people out there in the UK, their phones are going to be blasting with the emergency text alert. So we're going to see what's going on with this one here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. I want to wish my wife a happy 14 years anniversary. To my beautiful wife, Jessica Santiago, thank you again, guys, for the nice comments and message about the anniversary. Thank you so much. And 14 years together since 2011. And happy anniversary to my beautiful wife. All right, let's see what's going on here. Ukrainian leader Zelensky said on Friday that thousands of troops could be deployed to Ukraine in line with security guarantees proposed by its allies once Russia's war against his country is over. So when the war is over, that's when they're going to send in the troops. Now, I do have some more videos coming out about this one here. Is going to be over at Grand Supreme News. French leader Emmanuel Macron said on Thursday that 26 countries have pledged security guarantees for Ukraine after the war, including an international force on land, at sea, and in the air. Initially, Macron said these countries would send troops to Ukraine, but then clarified that some of them will provide guarantees by staying outside Ukraine. For example, by helping train and equip Kiev forces. So if the war ends, why are you going to train them? If it ends, let them rebuild. But if you try to train them, then obviously the bear is going to say, oh, you guys are not getting the message. You guys just want to continue this war. It is important that we are discussing all this. It will definitely be thousands, not just a few troops, Zelensky said after meeting with European Council President Antonio in Ukraine on Friday. So even if the war ends, and let's say, Putin take his troops and everything is, no more war, Zelensky is going to bring thousands of troops in as security guarantees. Then Russia is going to be like, no, it ain't going to happen. So, I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts? Leave comments down below. Now, the U.S. is not going to send soldiers. They're not going to send soldiers. But it's like the Europeans are the one that's going to send them. Now, it says here, Zelensky stressed that it is still too early to talk about the details. Meanwhile, the Russian leader said on Friday that any Western troops deployed in Ukraine will be a legitimate target for Moscow. There you go. So it seems like that security guarantee is not working. Now, Zelensky said that with Kosten, he had coordinated steps in talks on Ukraine's membership in European Union. Kiev sees EU membership as essential for the country's security and post-war recovery. Zelensky is also expected to meet with Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert on Friday. The Deputy Energy Minister Roman said in the Copenhagen that Zelensky is expected to discuss with Fico the gradual cessation of Russian oil supplies through Ukraine. Slovakia is heavily dependent on oil supplies from Russia through the Druzhba pipeline, whose infrastructure has been attacked by Ukrainian drones, causing repeated supply disruptions that have angered Bratislava. Give me a second. Bratislava. Now, Fico met with Putin on Tuesday in Beijing and said Bratislava wants to normalize relations with Moscow. Now, Ukraine has called on other countries to stop buying the Russian oil, to deny Moscow the money to fund its war. The US president told European leaders on Thursday that they should stop buying Russian oil, according to a White House official. All right. So Zelensky is saying it ain't going to be hundreds, it's going to be thousands. We don't know, again, possibly 10,000, perhaps more. But yeah, Russia is saying that they're not going to agree with the security guarantees. What are your thoughts on this one here, guys? Leave comments on below. But again, when it comes to peace, we still not seeing that. Now we have the Europeans, they're preparing. France just told their hospital, all the hospital in France, to get ready for possible huge WW3. Now, Emmanuel Macron said that we could see something big March of 2026. That's literally 6 months away. And now you have the UK are testing their emergency presidential text alert, something that we also have too here in the US. It says, don't panic. UK phones to sound at once in emergency drill. Tens of millions of mobile phones across the UK will blare a siren sound at the same time on Sunday as part of Gov efforts to better prepare for national emergencies. The nationwide test comes as officials seek to strengthen the country's resilience amid more frequent extreme weather events and concerns around Russia's war in Ukraine. At 3 p.m., that's 1400 GMT time, most of Britain's 87 million mobile phones and tablets will emit the noise and vibrate for about 10 seconds, the government has said. Now, users will also receive a message saying the warning is still a drill. The warning is only a drill, and what is just the second test of the National Emergency Alert System following the first in 2003. Just like the smoke alarm in your house, the fire alarm in this building, it's important to test these things now and again. Mr. Pat, the minister responsible for the system, told BBC Radio on Thursday. So again, they want to make sure that the system is working. Because again, guys, we're about to see a huge biblical war. There is no agreements going on. There's no dialogue. I mean, Zelensky want to bring thousands of troops. That's just provoking the bear. It's not bringing in peace. It's just provoking a bear. Russia. So again, they're not really pleased about all the security guarantees. And now the Europeans are preparing. They even warned their citizens to stock up on food and water, to have a go bag ready. The Gov has in recent weeks embarked on a publicity drive to minimize any shock caused, including through announcement at rail stations and signs on motorways. Now, it picked the date and time to try to minimize disruption. For example, there are no top flight men's football matches this weekend due to a round of international fixtures. It says here it has no control over events like wedding, funerals, or children's birthday parties. However, there's no perfect time to do these things, conceded. Mr. McFadden added, there will be something that is disturbed as a result of this. The Gov has used the system to issue real warnings to local area 5 times in the past 2 years. In January, some 4.5 million people in Scotland and Northern Ireland received an alert during storm Ewing after a red weather warning was issued, meaning there was a risk to life. A 500 kilogram, 1,100 pound unexploded Second World War bomb found in a back garden in southwest England triggered a warning to some 50,000 phones in February last year. It says here the system is designed for use The system is designed for use during the most likely emergency to affect Britain where there is the possibility of a loss of life. Warnings would also be transmitted on television, radio, and where appropriate by knocking on doors. So it's not only going to be phones, but it's also radios and television is going to also hear the announcement, the emergency drill. All right, this is something, like I said, we get at least every 3 years. The last time we did it, the last time we received the emergency presidential text alert, I think it was last year, might have been the year before. But again, this is like one of those monthly emergency broadcasts. This is only a test. But one day, it ain't going to be only a test. One day it's going to be the real deal. Warnings will also be transmitted on television, radio, and were appropriate by knocking on doors. Similar alerts are issued in the US and Japan. Only devices connected to 4G or 5G networks will get Sunday's alert. Sunday! That's during the blood moon. Sunday alert, blood moon. Wow. So they're gonna do this during the blood moon. Hold on. So it comes after the government published a resilience action plan in July, which cited the upheaval of the C-19 U.S. Commander-in-Chief tariffs and cyber. In the forward, McFadden also mentioned war on the current of Europe that catalyzed the largest rearmament of European powers since World War II. Now, the whole of the UK's national resilience, our economy, defenses, and biosecurity is being tested like never before. All right, so give me a second here. I want to see if this is this Sunday. Give me a second here, guys. So yeah, it's gonna be this Sunday. It's gonna be during the blood moon. During the blood moon. Guys are gonna be doing this during the blood moon. It's the UK phones to sound at once an emergency drill this Sunday. Yes, a nationwide test of the UK emergency alert system will take place on Sunday, September 7th at 3 p.m. So this is going to happen the same day as the blood moon. Here is what you need to know about the emergency drill. Is there a possibility that perhaps Sunday there could be something? What would happen? Well, most compatible mobile phones and tablets across the UK will emit a loud siren-like sound and vibrate for about 10 seconds. So what to expect? The alert will arrive as a clear message on your screen that identifies the notification as a test. The sound and vibration will occur even if your device is set to silent mode. Action required. No action is required on your part. The test is being conducted to ensure that the system is working properly for a real emergency. no personal data is collected. The system is broadcast from mobile phones masked to all compatible devices in the area and does not collect any personal data such as your phone number or location. Who will not get the alerts? The alerts will only be sent to the phones connected to 4G or 5G networks. So basically, older devices of those that are switched off or in their airplane mode will not receive it. Okay, so wow. So this is going to happen during the blood moon. It's going to be at 3 p.m. The blood moon is going to happen later on that night. But yeah, they chose the very important day. The blood moon. 7 billion people will be able to see that blood moon, depending on the weather condition. We, the Americas, we're not going to see it. By the time the blood moon reaches America, it will be daytime. So we're not going to see the blood moon. But it's alright. We've seen so many blood moons, as you know, we're being too greedy. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please share the video, guys. Make sure you triple check your notification bell. Triple check your notification bell. If my video is not popping up in your subscription box, make sure you check out my channel. I'm posting daily. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time later. Peace.